Hello guys, and today everyone, have you ever wondered exactly what happens between the moment you hit send on an email, the moment it's pop on your colleague's screen halfway across the world? It feels like magic, right? But it's actually a highly structured step-by-step process. Today I want to talk about OSI layers. So we are going to break down that process by exploring the OSI model, the Open System Interconnection Model, created by International Organization of Standardization in 1984. The OSI model is a conceptual framework that doesn't dictate the exact software you use. Rather, it describes how network communication should operate by breaking them into seven distinct manageable layers. So, why do you care about a 40-year-old conception model? Because it's a universal language of networking. When a network goes down, IT professionals use the OSI model to troubleshoot the methodology. Start from the cable and working their way up to the software. Let's look at the big picture. The layer 7. As you can see, the model is divided into 7 layers. The number from bottom to top. You're going to walk through the model from top down. Start from the application you are interacting with, all the way down to the physical cable. So the first, we start at layer 7, it's called application layer. This layer closest to you, the end user. However, this layer isn't the application itself. It's not Google Chrome or Outlook. Rather, it's provide network service that this application use. When you web browser want to fetch a web page, it uses HTTP or HTTPS at this layer. When you send an email, use SNDP, is simple mail transport. Think of layer 7, this receptionist of the network, taking your request and preparing it for the system. So the presentation layer is the next data moved on to layer 6. This layer network translator, which ensure that data sent from application layer once the system can be read by the application of another. It handles the crucial task: translation, compression, and encryption. Encryption means scrambling the data for security like SSL or TLS. So the next layer is section layer, and our final host layer is section layer. Imagine you are making a phone call. You have to dial the number, wait for the person to answer, have a conversation, and then hang up. The section layer does exactly for the computer. Such lab is maintain terminus connection or section between two devices. If network connection drops unexpectedly, the section layer can retry recover gracefully. Okay, so I already talked about the section layer. Now it's time for transport layer. Okay, so now we enter transition zone. Therefore, the transport layer is the heart of SI. The bridge, the okay, it's a bridge between these two layers. This layer contains TCP. This is a reliable and certified mail of the internet's guarantee that your data arrive exactly in the right order. So the UDP connection, this is the fast but reckless delivery. You just throw the data at the destination as quickly as possible without checking if it arrived, or use the UDP for the live video stream or online gaming where speed matters more than a drop frame. So layer 4 also send port numbers, ensuring the data goes to the correct application, like making sure email goes into Outlook and web page goes to Chrome. So next is the media layer, often called network layer. Now we move to layers responsible for actually moving the data across the globe. Welcome layer, network layer. The layer 4 is deciding how the data gets sent. Layer 4 decides through where it goes, handles the routing, logical addressing. Here data sent into packets and stamped with IP address. Both the senders and the receiver router operates at this layer. They read the IP address and determine the absolute best fastest path across the internet to get your packet to your destination. So next one is data link layer. Once the router gets a packet from current local network to data link, it takes over. While layer 3 uses logical IP address to find right network, layer 2 uses physical MAC address to find the specific device on the network. The data link layer packets into frames. This layer also handles error detection of the physical layer. It switches from layer to acting like a local traffic cops, directing frames to Excel laptops server they belong to. So next one is the final layer, the border layer. All of our beautifully structured data format encrypted segmented ultimately reduced to raw bits, zeros and ones. The physical layers is the actual tangible hardware. Okay, it's a copper wire, the fiber optics cable, the Wi-Fi radio waves, and the network interface card. The layer converts those zeros and ones into electrical signal pulses of light or radio frequencies and shoot them across the physical medium to destination. So in conclusion, start at the application layer, gets formatted by the presentation layer. A connection is opened by the section layer, is chopped into segment to transport layer, routed via IP address at the network layer, and handled to specific MAC address in the data link layer, and blasted over wire at the physical layer. So thank you for listening.